Oh yeah, let's do a selfie. I want to do a selfie.
You also want to be proud of what you do, right?
Yeah, totally. Every handle I make, I don't care if I make 200 a year. Every handle I make, I love. And you know, I like beautiful wood.
Chef enthusiast. Chef enthusiast.
Joe Morrone is your real name,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah, but you know, better known as JoBone in the knife community. He happens to be in Amsterdam, paying me a visit, taking a look at my knife collection. And I remember that you were offering me a handle one day online or something, like, shall I make a handle for
It only
you?
took a year to deliver it.
I don't care, but...
As forgetful as I am, I got about 10 minutes walking in, and then I realized I left it at the...
Nice, man. This buffalo horn is beautiful.
Yeah, so this was meant for Kota-uchi, and what I liked on it was kind of the natural feel of it. So that was the knife right there. What do you think? Feel? What do you think of the feel?
Feels nice and smooth. The wood is beautiful, and I love
it's Spalten maple I got years and years ago, and I loved it so much. This is the thing, I collect wood. And then I get so beautiful I don't like to use it. So I was like, okay, let me go ahead and use it.
I can imagine that you have certain pieces of wood that you just stare at and you never decide to make a handle with it.
I mean, I collect wood.
Yeah. That black line is also pretty.
Isn't it? That's a nice line. This one you'll see it has it's finished with a hardening oil, which gives it that slick feel. That's good for preserving colors.
So how did you treat this one?
This one was just buffed.
Just buffed.
That's all.
That's all it needed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the patterns and the drawings in the wood is really nice, and also that black line gives it that something special. In the buffalo horn, do you ever make handles with the like this one?
Yeah.
You know.
So what happens here is these are generally done with a machine. Yeah, they're all done with a machine. If you ever see how the Japanese do it, which drills puts an oval into the horn. Yeah. And then this is the same wood, right? So the same wood is used here. What you commonly see with it, like people like myself or Josh, is we put a dowel. So the inside here is a dowel. Mm-hmm. So it's not the same piece of wood. The dowel gives it the strength that you need. But it also allows for kind of that prettier, well, some people think, prettier area like that. And to be honest, you can just do it a lot. You don't need the special equipment. A handle to a knife can be done a lot of different ways. So with a handle like this, the kind of the natural feel of it matches the kind of the natural earthy feel that you get with the Kota-uchi. Mm-hmm. Right. Now you can go different with Kota-uchi. You can go the exact opposite. You can get like a really bright, colorful handle, and then you have a very big contrast, which is nice. Yeah. So this is meant more too to have the lines on this are going that way. So when you look at it, your eyes go back and forth. Yeah. So if you went with, like, I was thinking of a monochrome, and that way, if you had a monochrome handle, like I was going to do a black with a black. You see it as a whole. This way you kind of see it like the uniform, a lot of harmony with it. And then you could have the contrasting where the knife almost brings out the handle. Mm-hmm. They're all good ways of doing it. Thing about handle making, I have my ideas, and then when people ask for a custom handle, they'll tell me what they want. I don't know, I think it look good. And then I do it, and it's like, man, that's cool. So it brings me out of my own head, and puts me.
Trappa seems to like
makes me grow. Yeah, Trappa likes it.
This knife actually has a handle of yours on it. You recognized it.
Yeah, it's held up well with time too.
And it's also quite a special blade because it's one of the 6 only carbon knives made by Ryuzen ever.
Yeah, that's a unicorn, right?
Yeah, you could say it's a unicorn.
It's rare.
It's very rare.
Yeah.
If there are only 6 of something in the world, then you might.
Yeah. So what do you have here? What's this one?
This one in the middle, that one I got from JNS, from Maxime in Denmark, Japanese natural stones. He only.
That's where I get my Toyamas.
There you go. Yeah.
Some of my Toyamas.
Well, I also have two Toyamas here. Yeah, then you know that he only sells knives from selected makers of his liking. And you just named Toyama. He does, of course, Kato, Shikafusa, Wakui, Kenichiwada, Munetoshi. And the latter, Munetoshi, made that knife. This is made, I mean, Maxime is gonna kill me if I don't explain this correctly, but I think Maxime bought steel from a German steelmaker, from this guy. I forgot his name, but it's bloomery iron.
Okay. And then had him.
Yeah, and then brought it to Munetoshi and asked him to make some knives with that. And the knives that he received made from this bloomery iron, Maxime himself then polished and sharpened, and I think actually etched it as well. So these are all, as he says, special knives that he. It's basically then more of a Maxime knife than a Munetoshi knife.
Oh, it's something else.
But yeah, it's beautiful because he polished this one like really beautifully, and I mean the steel itself is already special because the steel. I think he told me that it came from a 500-year-old French anchor. And I'm a sucker for that type of stuff. You know?
Yeah, I hear you.
If something has been on the bottom of the ocean for hundreds of years and then somehow...
This is cool.
and then somebody turns it into a knife and I can create a new story for that piece of steel. Yeah, I'm a
that's
sucker
nice.
for that.
Burnt chestnut.
Burnt chestnut handle. Maxime is a big fan of these Sanyo style handles, of course, as I am as well. The chestnut has a nice grip on it.
Chestnut in the U.S., American chestnut, bit of a tragic tale because used to be that the whole eastern coast. They call them like the eastern version of the redwoods, the sequoia. But a blight happened. When people brought Asian chestnuts, it caused a blight. Basically wiped out all the chestnuts on the eastern coast.
Wow.
So now you get they'll grow a little bit, and then once they start getting big enough, the blight hits them. There's one strand, I think, in Michigan that escaped, and maybe 1 or 2 trees, just periodically you'll see some chestnut trees, but they've been wiped out for 100 years. They were a main source of food for American Indians or Native Americans.
Do I have a favorite? That's always, of course, a hard question.
Yeah, I don't even like asking that question.
No, I mean, there's so many. I have a knife for every mood by now. My stance is that knives are made to be used. So
but you get something like a troll killer.
I do have this troll killer.
I don't know if I would use it.
Well, I don't use it on a daily. I take this knife a lot with me when I do private chef gigs. And then I pull out that knife and it's always a conversation starter. When I do a private chef gig, of course, I take one of my show ponies. But when doing my preps for like, let's say a big catering of 100 people, then I grab a trusty workhorse. A lot of JNS knives are my favorites. Toyamas, the Kairu series of him, the Wakui knives. Yeah, those are all very trusty workhorses because they're a little bit sturdy. You don't need to really worry a lot about those knives. So those are excellent knives to just plow through big preps.
Some of my favorite.
They're quite no-nonsense knives, They just look like a piece of steel with a very simple traditional handle on it. So if I bring that to a private chef gig, people are not really going to be
They're going to be impressed.
What's that? But yeah, if I pull out this one or the Yorokobi or one of these Nigara Anmon, then anything Damascus, people are always like, "Ooh, that's beautiful. What's that?"
Did the Yorokobi have what was the edge like out of the box?
That was actually, I did a review with that knife already, and the edge was out of the box was okay. I mean, I
Yeah.
didn't really need to touch it up or anything. It cut really well. But the really cool thing about this knife, when I started chopping with it, it started to sing. The blade started to ring like a bell. So that was really cool with this blade. It's made of SLD steel. I think it was my first SLD steel knife, so I was really curious about the steel itself anyway. It sharpens pretty easily.
It's got a nice heft to it too.
Yeah, but this is a 27, right? So it's a rather
Yeah.
large Kyoto, so they are hefty bites. But it has a thick spine, BV heel.
Yeah.
It tapers down nicely though. And of course, yeah, that copper
Yeah,
damask
those are-
is
those are
something
nice
we
knives.
didn't see before.
I wonder if they'll ever know who makes them.
But the one that I use the most, and first of all, my most used profile is the Nakiri actually, because I
use it
do
a lot
of
too.
vegetables.
Yeah, I'm a vegetarian, so
There you go. My most used two knives are my Fujiwara Denka Nakiri and my Jiro Nakiri.
wow, yeah, that is sweet.
So many people are hunting for Jiro knives and always fail to get their hands on one. I hardly use a petty, so that would
I use a petty a lot. I actually use a Santoku a lot. I live in a small house with that little counter space, so I would love to use 240s, but I don't have the room for it.
I don't have a lot of Santokus actually. The only two Santokus I have are this Shigafusa and a OG Katsushiga Unreal. And also this one actually, the Inaura. But I did make a video with the Shig Lord Flores, this Dutch guy who owns about 50 Shigafusa knives. He has like a museum.
Oh, he's a Dutch guy.
Yeah, he's a Dutch
Does he
guy.
have like kaitaji.com?
Yeah, he has a website, and I visited him in Switzerland where he lives. Stayed for a weekend, talked about his knife, made a
Oh
video.
yeah, man, I drool over his knife collection. I'm like,
That guy. Another bucket list knife is the river jump from Hinaura.
yeah, my river jump got stolen. Most of my Inoras got stolen by
Oh,
an
fuck.
apprentice that I had who was helping me make handles, and I showed him my collection, and then the next day they were gone.
That's a sad story,
Yeah, it
man.
sucked. Those got taken from me, and I've thought of ways to get them back. But I think for me it was better to let go.
Letting go is the only thing to hold on to, I always say.
That's true, yeah.
But still, if something gets stolen and I don't know, I have no clue how it happened and who did it, it's easier to let go than if you actually know who did it.
You have just the one Denka?
Yeah, I only have one Denka. First of all, I don't need more knives.
You sure?
I always try to
You got
not
some
buy
room.
more knives. You know, now and then you get the chance to get your hands on something special, and that's where I'm at right
Yeah.
now.
I mean, at first you get a knife.
Yeah, you get a knife.
It's awesome.
and
It's
you
like
get-
nothing you ever had before.
Yeah.
And then you get more because they're so awesome. And at some point you have a nice size collection. And then, at that point you just want, at least for me, you just go for the special ones.
Exactly. You get more picky and more selective.
Yeah. And I like handles.
Yeah, of course. You like it. Yeah. What do you think about this handle?
Let's see.
Do you know the maker? Do you recognize the maker?
I don't know the maker.
It's a knife by Majime. Majime from, I think he's from Atlanta.
Oh yeah, I know who. Yeah. Do you know what the material is?
It's gemstone.
My original thought would be like, but it's cool. This is an all horn handle.
Yeah, I love those actually. I have two. This one is also a full.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. And that knife, of course, is also knives. If you like thin knives, then the Shibata Kutetsu is the way to go. But also the Kai Kobayashi knives are so very thin. And also this Yukurusaki, which is from a very old series of his, the Hawao series. Rainbow Damascus, it's very, very thin.
Yeah, it's very thin.
I also brought this.
He doesn't make these anymore.
No, he doesn't make them anymore. A
He
lot
actually started off, his first ones were Bluetooth, and I got 4 of them. And then after that, I heard he was moving to the only the VG.
Yeah, this is VG.
And I had already sold 3 of them. I wish I wish I had kept them all.
Yeah.
It's a pretty handle too. Who
Yeah,
did the handle?
this handle is done by Josh from the UK,
yeah.
from Let's Handle This.
Yeah, nice.
He made this handle for me, and he also made this handle for me.
Yeah, I helped him out when he first got started, and it's nice to see his actual work. I mean, I'm always busy, so I'm really happy to have inspired some people to start making handles, because a lot of people that make handles now got inspired by the work that I do, and I think that's great. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work right there. I wouldn't do that. If you asked me for a piece of metal like that, I would just say no.
Screw it, go to Josh. Talk to Josh.
Talk to Josh. That's a lot. That is a whole lot of time with a file. I got the Dankas with the soft iron,
Oh yeah. Yep.
and he only does the stainless Dankas. I had him do it with soft iron, but I didn't want the Kurauchi finish. They put I had some miscommunication, which I feel bad about. So they put the Kurauchi finish on it, and then for the finishing work, I have Myojin doing all the sharpening on them. So I have these
Wow.
really awesome. I mean, they're just.
I think I once talked about it with someone who asked me like, what would be like a collaboration that you'd like to see that has not happened yet. I was like,
so mine, I got the
was like,
Fujiwara Myojin.
Fujiwara Myojin.
Does it get any better? To me, does it get any better?
yeah. The
I
steel
don't know
like.
if it does. I mean,
Yep. Yeah, that would be awesome.
I've thought about just trying to get some unsharpened knives, just because I think some people want to learn to sharpen themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm working on my inspired from the Tinker Tank. So I have another blacksmith that's. I'll say I have a knife that was inspired by the Tinker Tank.
And especially with your handle on it, it's gonna be a sick blade.
Oh, dang, that is really similar, isn't it?
Yeah, the size is pretty much the same. It's just, I mean, this is not a bad handle or ugly handle
Nice
by
handle.
any means.
Probably Murado, which is not a. Sells it could be a walnut.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind this handle staying on it forever, but yeah, since you worked on this handle for a year, I feel like I have to put it on.
Yeah, I lose a lot of orders. I'm so forgetful. Like I say, I got about 10 minutes and realized I left it at the apartment.
Shit.
But I'm forgetful, and
That's okay.
I feel bad that the people order stuff for me and I forget. If I don't write it down,
You forget.
I forget. If I write it down, I put it on a piece of paper, and then I forget where I put the paper. So people wait too long. And anyway, if anyone ever, they need to bug me. They need to remind me, hey man, you said you're making a handle for me, and
It's all good. This knife, this mega long Nakiri, as Knifeware promoted it. The cool thing is that I, together with a guy from Breda who makes handles and knives, we created this beautiful
that's nice.
Tsuka-inspired handle, because I thought this is almost like a sword, right? This is a half sword, so I want to have a samurai handle on it. So we came up by doing it this way, to use skate deck, reclaimed skate deck wood, and then
And the diamond pattern is wasn't cut diamond.
no, this is inlaid.
Yeah.
He actually inserted those diamond shapes in the handle, In my video, I actually show the process of making the handle.
So I should connect back with my family.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, let's do a selfie. I want to do a selfie.